Hey DIYers, Dylan here with Alarm Grid. Today we're going to be going over how to use a 2 gig system without monitoring. Now, technically any system that you get can be used without monitoring. What monitoring is, it's basically just when you have the system sending out a signal to a central station or to a remote application. If it's not being monitored, the system is basically just a local noise maker. So it's still going to function, you can still program it the same as you could if it was monitored. It's going to do the same exact thing. The only difference, just to state again, is it's not going to send out a signal. So there are some advantages and disadvantages to this. So the disadvantages, obviously, if there is an emergency, you're not getting the signal sent out to anyone. So no one's going to know that the alarm is going off. No one's going to know that you would need the authorities there, unless, of course, you called. So basically, it's just making noise, possibly scaring away a burglar, possibly, like if your house is close enough to neighbors or if your sirens are loud enough, neighbors could hear it, possibly call the police for you. But again, that's, kind of chancy on if they would or if they could hear it. So it's going to be basically the same when it is monitored, be it either with remote application or central station. Difference is that a remote application would basically just alert you on your smartphone. It'll send you an email, a text alert, push notification, basically saying, hey, this alarm is going off, this sensor is tripped, in which case you would have to call the authorities. Or if it's monitored by a central station, that signal is going out to operators whose job it is to basically take in the signal, contact you or the authorities depending on the type of situation, and then basically dispatch out for you and make sure that you're okay. So with monitoring as well as non-monitoring, there are positives and negatives. So the positives, like I mentioned, is obviously you're getting this sent out to someone who can call the authorities for you if it is an emergency situation and you're unable to do so yourself. A disadvantage is that if there is no emergency, your signal is still going out. So if you accidentally come in the door, accidentally trip off a panic, don't disarm the system in time, where the signal does go out, central station has gotten the signal, they're reacting, they're contacting the authorities, that's possibly a false alarm. Basically meaning no emergency, but the alarm was still tripped, and the authorities were still dispatched. Some areas do have permits for alarms that are monitored. Basically, they're for the exact mentioned situation before, false alarms. So if you have a false alarm, that's the police using their time and resources to go out to the location, to check on the system, to check on the alarm, make sure that there's no one on location, secure the premises and all that. For areas that have a high amount of those, the police will issue permits, so either they don't have to fine you, or the fine is drastically reduced. If you do have a system that is monitored, or if you're trying to get monitoring with a system, we definitely recommend to check with your local police department, be it either city or county, where your limits lie, and then check with them, mention that you're going to have a system that's going to be monitored by a central station, that can call the authorities if needed, see if you need a permit or if you need to register the system. That way you can get all your things in order, so when you do get the system live, if there is a false alarm, you don't have to worry about being fined or being fined a high amount. Now, that's essentially majority of what we can talk about. I mean, as mentioned, just to go over it again, the systems will operate the same. So if I had my GC3 monitored and had my GC2 unmonitored, functionality, they're going to do the same thing. Just as a reminder, the GC3, that's getting sent out to somewhere that's going to respond to the alarm, while the GC2 is just making noise. If your neighbors are close enough and they hear the siren, they can possibly call the authorities for you. If you're on site and it's not, such a dire emergency where you can't reach a phone, you can contact the authorities as well. But if the system is monitored, you don't have to worry about that. It's getting sent out to someone, so even if no one's hearing the siren or if there's no one around or if people just don't want to react, you're still getting someone responding to that for you. They're still going to dispatch the authorities and then call to make sure you're okay. For more questions about monitoring, or if you're just interested in more about how these systems work, check out our website, www.alarmgrid.com. And if you did like this video, please like and subscribe, and hit the bell icon to be notified when we release more content. Thank you very much, and have a great day.